"Where are you hurt?" Dad asked Evan, who was hiding under the teacher's desk at the front of the kindergarten classroom and weeping. Ben stood beside Dad, and aside from Chuck and Evan, there was no one else in the room, living or dead. Just tiny tables for little people covered in coloring sheets and crayons. Chuck was under the desk with Evan, an arm wrapped around his friend. As I got closer, I could see two things. Chuck had spots of blood on his shirt, but was otherwise unharmed. Evan wore bloodstains all down the front of his shirt, and a large chunk of his right arm was missing just below the shoulder. "Did someone bite you?" Dad asked. Evan sobbed and put a hand on his shoulder. "Teacher." My father's face fell. "We've got to go," he said. "Come on, Chuck." Chuck stood. "Can Evan come?" "Not today," Dad said. "Evan's parents are coming for him. If he comes with us, they won't know where he is." "I want to come with you," Evan cried, crawling out from under the desk. "We can't leave him, Mr. Genero," Ben said. My father frowned. I know he considered it. My father was a good man. He gave Evan a wary look, then took 2 steps away and motioned for Ben and me to come closer. We huddled together like teammates discussing a play, Evan sobbing behind us. My father clapped a hand on my shoulder. "Thank God you're all right, son. You too, Ben." "I'm not all right," I said. "The high school is burning down." The way my father looked at me, I knew this was news to him, but he didn't seem that surprised. "Something's happened at Kirkman's. I ain't sure what exactly, but there's something in the chrome lightning, some kind of poison. It's called solanin or solanium or some such thing. It's like a virus. If people drink enough of it, they die, but they don't stay dead. If people drink any and die from something else, they come back. The CDC has been at the plant all morning collecting samples. They're working on a cure." Dad looked us up and down. "Did either of you get bit by anyone?" Ben and I shook our heads. My father breathed an audible sigh of relief. "Their bites are poison. They infect you and eventually kill you, if the dead person doesn't kill you first. However you die, if you're bit or you drink the chrome lightning, you come back. Understand?" We nodded as though we did. "Then you understand that boy can't come with us," Dad whispered, then glanced back to Evan to make sure he hadn't heard. I thought of the way Jessica Fenton had collapsed and stopped breathing outside the school, then sat up again, her eyes all white, and tried to bite me. I thought of Evan doing the same thing in the cab of Dad's truck, squished with Dad, Ben, Michelle, and Chuck and me. "Do you want something to eat?" I asked Evan, reaching for a box of fruit snacks on a shelf. "No." "I do, Ricky," Chuck said. The snacks were wrapped individually, so I handed one to each boy. "We have to go now, Evan." "I want to come with you." "No, you have to stay here," I said. "Can you be brave? Can you show me your brave face?" Tears slid down Evan's cheeks. "Don't leave me here by myself." And then I was crying. I turned to Dad. "I can't." Dad picked Chuck up and headed for the door. "Let's go." Ben and I followed Dad, and Evan followed us. "Take me with you." "No, Evan!" Dad yelled harsh enough to make Evan stop in his tracks and whimper. "You stay here. Your parents are coming." "But Daddy's in Arizona. Don't leave me." Dad marched into the hall, and Evan watched us go, sucking his thumb. We went back to the front of Funnucation, and when I glanced back, Evan was gone, probably hiding under the desk again. Ben had stopped following us and stood at the door to a room across the hall from the nursery. "I think there's some kids in here," he said. It was the last coherent thing I ever heard him say.